Welcome to another day in the Milky Way.
Preparing for live stream.
We are live. It says live.
Oh, it does?
It
Okay.
sure does.
There we
Hi,
go. I
everybody.
had another screen in front of me. Hello, everybody.
This is for Brian, because Brian, this is all about you. So we're going to continue the tradition. So once in a while, you guys are going to see some of the tribe in the Milky Way hats. And we're going to be just supporting Brian in every aspect that we can.
That's right. Yeah, any way we can. I mean, I love the hats. I can't wait to get mine. It's going to be wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Al, thanks. Lori, thanks for finding that the link to get that too. I wanted to say thanks for
absolutely.
that. I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers that we're going. We already passed the 200 mark now. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm trying to get on chat right now.
Yeah, so am I. I'm going to get on there. And, well, we're going to continue reading the book. We're waiting for Kent.
Yeah, he doesn't have Wi-Fi where he's at, so he may not
Yeah.
join us. So if he can't, then that's okay. But yeah, I decided to throw the hat on like 5 seconds before we went live. I had my hair up, so I was like, "Hey, let's do the hat." I got my hat today. Oh, I hear us echoing.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope
So,
I don't echo next.
who do we got in the chat room here? We got Michelle, Can-Am Free.
Hi,
Welcome.
Michelle.
Al, Big Al.
Hi, Al.
Shout
Love
out
the
to
hat.
you. Shannon
Like the
Kling.
hat.
Yeah. Shannon, awesome to see you.
Working out
Yeah.
Milky Way.
Yes, I love the card Al made for her. That was really nice.
Oh, I know. Wasn't it beautiful?
Yes, it
I
was
thought it
very
was
nice.
wonderful.
Yes, very nice. And
Bosco, Shannon.
and Lori from Pure Love Ascension. Remember, everybody, go and subscribe to her channel. She's putting up some really good stuff. She does a really nice job. I mean,
Absolutely.
she's way more advanced than me. Oh, Milky's mom's in the house.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi, Brenda.
Yeah.
Big
Lady
hug.
Spitfire. Teresa D. Anton. Hey, Anton? Yeah, that's it. Trying to read and look, it's kind of
Hi,
bright.
Steve. Slanted Sleuth.
Slanted. Yeah, Steve from Slightly Slanted Sleuth.
Yeah.
Okay. Tony Cherie. Hey, did you notice? I got some moderators this week. I managed to figure out how to do that.
Yay.
So there you go, guys.
Hey, Pure Love, you started it. We were like, that's a great soul tribe thing. We'll all get hats and we're going to get together and do a big group thing. Like I said, we're still learning, but we're figuring it out. So we'll get everybody together and all of us will wear hats and we'll have Milky Way Soul Tribe gathering, many minds, all under the same star.
Awesome. Marsha Price. Hello and welcome. Marsha, I got the Rods of Ra. They're awesome. I don't have them with me at the moment. I'm on the road. We're doing podcasts on the road. Yeah, David Null. Greetings to you too, my fine friend.
Hi, Teresa.
See what else we got.
BLT.
Spirit Girl. Welcome.
Hi,
Glad you could make it. I think she's in California.
Oh, right on.
I think that's where she is. So yeah, that's way out there in the middle of nowhere. It's land. I wouldn't want to live in California. I got to give you credit for living there. I mean, I hear
It
this
used to be so wonderful, and now it's crazy train.
Yeah, I think back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, I think it was like the awesomest place to live. I mean, hippies, love child people, good weather, surfing, everybody was friendly, and now it's a cesspool of crazy wackos. Sorry for you people who live there. I don't mean to offend you, but hey, that's what the kind of the word is.
Hi, Hawkeye.
Yeah, and let's see who else we got. Did I miss anybody? We only got 17 people. I tried to put up advertisements for it. I worked hard on it. I think I screwed it up, but hey, I'm learning.
You did good. Yeah. Yes. You got the one out there. That was awesome.
Lori gave me the better idea on how to put the thing up, and that one seems to work every time. A 30-second, we're going to be on tonight.
Yeah.
Thing, and I tried to do the YouTube create, but then it just went right to live. And then I'm like, oh crap, I ain't live yet, but I don't know. I don't know how to.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I don't know.
We're
Oh,
figuring it out.
yeah.
We're
Debbie
getting there.
Bell. Oh, I
Little
don't.
at a time.
Yeah. She says, I'm late, but hey, you're here. That's all right. Yeah, I didn't get a notification either. So, you're just going to have to bear with us. I don't know why. It's probably because it's my fault. I did it. That's a me.
I don't know how to do all that stuff. It's like, oh, it's a lot to learn, but you're learning fast.
Yeah, like I said, I'm learning. Oh, Delaney Delight Jones, welcome. She loves the hat. Well, we got a link. Lori, if you still got that link, can you just post that in the chat? If you can do that, you're more tech savvy than me. I'm trying to do this and that right now, but I will try to get that link and post it into the description after the show. I promise you. I'll try to do that along with the email, the Milky Way Soul Tribe email. And that's Milky Way Soul Tribe at gmail.com. And somebody could post that in there. That would in the chat. That would be good. And we're working on other stuff and it's all good. Yay.
Getting there. And we don't know if Kent's going to be able to join us. Like I said, he might show up. So keep looking for him, Robert, because he might pop in.
If he pops in, I can see it. I got the thing up. It says for participants. When it comes up, it'll light up. And Kent,
I just don't want to miss him if he shows up.
Yeah. Remember, Kent, if you're watching this and you can't get on, I did send you a new link. Don't try to do the Google Zoom the meeting thing because I screwed that up apparently. Try to just hit the last link I sent you. That works the best. Apparently. Okay, well, I guess who we got in the house, and Candy Apple showed up. Great.
Candy Apple.
Yes. Your hat.
So
yes, Al. I will figure out a way to wear my hat with the headphones. Don't you worry. I will make sure that I do that. See, I got plenty of room on my head, and then the headphones sit in the back, and I just got to turn them a little, and then I will be able to wear my hat. Not a problem.
There you
David
go.
Castle's in the house. Welcome, David Castle.
David.
I want to get you on this show too one of these days. Whenever you're willing, ready, and able, I'll get some words of wisdom from you. You helped me through a lot of things. I got to admit, your encouraging words opened my mind, helped me focus. The little things, and I appreciate that. I mean, he was real patient with me, and he's been patient with everybody in there. They ask questions, and he's always right on top of things. So I want to give him a big hand for that because he was really awesome about that.
That's Bosto, baby. I love it.
That's exactly right. Favorite you and Bosto.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's see. Hey, anyway. I don't see anybody else new. We're up to 22 in the.
So has everybody been feeling this crazy energy that came in like 24 hours ago?
I don't know, but I've been feeling.
Broke down. Everybody's getting hit with chaos right now. I'm telling you, it's like it's across the board. I'm hearing about it.
Really? Yeah. It's been crazy. I had to sleep in my truck for I was camping in my truck. Go figure. So, but hey, it's all right. It's one of those things you live and learn.
Poor Robert. But when those waves of everything goes wrong comes, there's still no fun.
Yeah.
No fun at all.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting. Thank you, Lori, for posting that in chat. That was nice.
All week, says Teresa. She's been noticing it too. T-Cat. Yes, they're all noticing this energy. It's off the hook.
Trina, I got a question for you, and this is about the energy. Now I've noticed it work both ways. There's some people like myself, the energy's crazy, and I've been busy running around doing things. I got more energy, staying up later, doing all kinds of stuff, bouncing off the walls, and other people are getting more depressed and tired, can't function. It's like the hill is going both ways. It's like we're parting in the middle, and one group is falling this way and the other group is going this way, or up, and one is going down. I mean, it's totally opposite.
Yeah, and you
notice that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know what? I'm seeing a correlation that might be the cause.
Yes.
Some mornings when you wake up and you just feel good, and then some mornings you wake up and you're like, oh, you just feel different. I think you got to literally, before you get out of bed, if you're not feeling like good, you got to shift it before you even set your foot on the ground. Literally shift that reality before you even start your day, because for whatever reason, I think we're manifesting very quickly. So what we think about, we bring about. So we got to be really watching our thoughts and what we're feeling and shift it to where we want it to be. Because I really think for whatever reason, manifestation is happening like bam right now.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think, and you can either manifest to the positive or manifest to the opposite. One or the other.
And it's based on how you feel. What you're creating is based upon the magnetics of your vibration, and that's based upon what you feel, because thoughts produce emotion.
Yes.
So it's like we really got to babysit that. So if you're getting hit with the funk or depression or the low vibes, you got to like fake it till you make it. Turn up music, watch a movie that makes you laugh. Laughter is a great way for that. You got to find a way to shift how you feel, because the reality is going to match what we're emanating, I think, really quickly. I'm seeing it happen. It's manifesting faster and faster and faster.
Yes, yes. It seems, and it's very noticeable. That's why I'm saying you're saying the same thing. You're very, holy cow! Now it starts to work. Yeah, my thing finally started to work, and now I can. 1 minute it's working, 1 minute it ain't. I got to get a higher powered computer, make it work really good, or something. But 1 minute it starts to be good, and the next it doesn't want to. I'm like, I disappeared. Did you see that? I just disappeared.
I did
totally.
see that. I was like, where'd you go?
Yeah. Like, huh. So much for the green screen working. And oh, hang on. I seen that pop up.
So and have you guys been having like a lot of dreams, or have you been not be able to remember your dreams? Because like whatever reason right now, I'm not remembering a lot of my dreams and my dream time, and it's weird.
No, I do. I should write it down. The last few days I've been having some crazy ones, but I should be writing it down, and then
you should write it down. You really should.
I think Kent's coming on. He's starting to connect stuff. He's coming.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. I think you'll be joining us very shortly. This is going to be good. Okay.
So happy.
I'm still looking. I can hear something.
Oh, hang on. I got to start my video, I think.
There you go.
I see you.
Hey, Kent.
Hey, guys.
All right. We got you on. Awesome. Sorry about the last minute details and everything, but I thought Trina must have talked to you, and then I'm thinking, well, I didn't know you were moving, and I'm like, I'm sending you emails, and
it's so weird. It was full on telepathic.
Holy cow, you got an empty house.
Do have that. So how are you guys tonight?
Awesome.
Good.
Awesome.
I'm good. I've just been slam busy. I've been trying to close down things all over the place. Like I was kind of back and forth between BC and Alberta, and now I'm heading out to the island. I'm going to set up my property right now. So yeah, I'm on my way out there.
That's gonna be living on the island.
I am gonna be living on the island. I'm gonna be a farmer.
That is so awesome. I love it.
That is so cool. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Oh man, that's like that's like millionaires do. They go off to the big island and set up fort and camp and whatever, and fly in their planes and stuff like that. And there you go. And you got one, and you're no wild ass millionaire.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to do it without being the millionaire. Awesome.
Oh. But that's great. So you got any words of wisdom for us this week?
Yeah, I mean, I've actually had quite an enlightening week for sure. I'm the more I come to understanding, the more I feel like doing everything more naturally, finding our own natural rhythm, our own natural path is naturopathy. Naturopathy. That's an interesting. That just came to my brain because it's like
you have to coin that.
You know,
No,
that,
it is
honestly,
point.
that's every single thing that brings you back to truly who you are would be called naturopathy. Whether it's what you eat, it's where you are, it's what you pay attention to that's natural, it's what you, if you're following your intuition, you're following naturopathy. And if you're not, if you're this is the issue of the world that we live in. This is why we find ourselves under control, because we don't want to follow our own naturopathy. We want to, well, even if we do, we seem to want to have others tell us the way that it is, as which is good if those people's intentions are good, just like we're having, like tonight, having a good conversation and get together, people that actually care and speak and you know, manifest and do from the heart, away from this other world that's around us at all times. And that's not really a natural world in any way, shape, and form, because it's telling us to not follow our inner intuition. It's telling us to trust in other systems and stuff that even if they have your own best interest in heart, it's still not really natural. It's kind of an artificial outside path. But you know, I literally just read the coolest quote just before I got on here. It just hit me out of nowhere. And it was a fellow I sometimes watch. His name's Gemini. He's a pretty smart fellow. I've never really had a conversation to him. I'd like to, because I think there's a few things I could help maybe bring to him, and I think there's a lot that he could bring to me. But he was talking about eating of, you know, the whole thing with eating of the fruit, the tree of knowledge and evil. And surely you must die. I think that the quote goes something like that from like the Bible or from these texts. And he said something, and it just struck me as funny. It's like, when you choose to incarnate into this system of good and evil, you will die from this system. You must eat the fruit of good. You must eat the fruit or from the tree of knowledge, or what is from good and evil. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, that's your incarnation. Yep. You have to eat from the fruit to come here to see the good and evil, and then surely you must die from it. You're not dying technically, but you're dying from this plane, this where you've gone into, where we've incarnated into. And it just really struck me as a very brilliant thought on it. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense to me, to be honest.
Yeah, you're gonna die from the physical world, because there's good and evil here, and on the veil of the other realm, it's all love, and you know, and it's not like that. And then you come here for the experience of the good and evil.
Absolutely.
And then they talk about you know, in the garden, the serpent beguiled Eve, and Eve Eve partook in the forbidden fruit. It's, you know, I wonder too about I wonder if that goes back to the Orion Wars and all of the different stuff that potentially happened a very long time ago. And that might be what the Bible is referring to as the introduction to the serpent, would be through those Orion Wars and the wars.
Well, and the thing is too, when you think about that, even like the Orion Wars and the differences within this plane, you know, maybe we're talking about the greater multi-universe, the multiplex of eating from the fruit of good and evil. Because does it necessarily mean that it's just in this incarnation, or do we incarnate into a system where we ascend back out of that system and then back to a natural system? I don't know. Just got
That is
little
a great question,
tidbits.
Kent. I ponder that all the time, but that's what I've started to see. It's like, okay, is the goal to get out of the matrix, or is the goal to master the matrix? Because this is one of the better options, but I don't believe that it is, because I think that to break free from this, you go to the realms that are what they call the invisible realms, the realms of the unseen. And I think it's because it's not in matter. So it's more etherical. And I think that might be our origins is the etherical, the unseen, where the boneless ones exist, basically just light bodies and formless, all the way to formless, just being consciousness. So yeah, I wonder that too. It's like, are we getting out? Do we just want to stay in? It's like,
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have choices.
Absolutely. I heard another cool thing this week, and it was talking about the formation of the natural light body versus kind of the unnatural light body, like the
Which would be, which would be
unnatural.
the earth bodies that you get when you come into earth, which would be like the sensories, the five senses, and the physical, that part of you, that would be the artificial light body, because it's a projection. It's not the real one. So the higher self is projecting the avatar. So we science has just confirmed that our thought processes are not local to our brain. I was like, yes, that proves
Absolutely.
higher soul. Yeah, that proves. I'm like, yeah.
That is profound, because like this week, my thoughts on what to name the show for the week and what I was thinking of talking about was relationship. That was drilled in my head all week. Relationship. That's what we should talk about. And it wasn't like a relationship. I mean, you could talk about a relationship with a man and a woman, or with friends or whatever, but it's the relationship we have with everything around us and ourselves and our spiritual self and our body, and how that's a woven in relationship that we carry on, because which one of us doesn't talk to ourselves in our head? I mean,
all of us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We all do. So we have a relationship with ourselves, and and then how does that affect the world around us? Then our two talking heads, we go out and conversate with other people who are talking in their head. How crazy is that when you really think about it? It's like you got multiple conversations all going on at the same time.
And it's so beautiful at the same time, because through our individual I am awareness, we still have a we connection. So we literally have the ability to be both, and that I think is very profound and unique as humans. That humans do that. They can have the unity consciousness and still hold a separate identity of self, while being in cooperation and relationship with all around you.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
and that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that all week. I was like, the relationship we have with ourselves, and the universe, and then the relationship we have with others, and how we can communicate and feel and associate with them. And even though I don't, because before they invented the phone and they invented all this other stuff so we can dumb our senses down, how did they do that? People just somehow knew that there's somebody coming this week, or they just had that sense that somebody was nearby, or whatever. They had that connection with people out there without talking to somebody. How do they do that?
What's so funny, Robert, is because I told you it'd be nice to have Kent on, and you had emailed Kent but hadn't heard from him. I had text Kent but hadn't heard from him, and yet all three of us are here at the same exact time, and none of us have spoken until this moment, except for you and I about an hour ago.
That's true.
Oh man, yeah, that's why it caught me off guard when I was like, oh, I thought you talked to Kent, and then you scheduled this up, and so I just typed it in there. I'm like, okay,
and it just worked out, and it's like we must have all had a divine appointment. We just weren't aware, and it all just worked out. And yeah.
Well, it's kind of like every podcast I've ever been on or done, or maybe it's a fault, but I don't know. But yes, I have no preparation. There
That's
has never
okay.
been one iota of preparation in anything I've ever spoken of on
I
a
just
podcast. So.
Kid, we wing it most of the time. It's all good.
Today is about the most winging it I did. I'm usually the guy that's really prepared. I've studied. I've read the book. You know, which I got the book here. See, we're gonna read something out of the book tonight. I swear.
Excellent.
But
Robert got me a book too.
yeah. See, there you go. It's on Amazon or it's on. I got mine off of eBay. But you guys can order yours. I think I paid. I think they run between $12 and $20. So
Yeah.
you know, and you can get it. I can send you a download too. But a lot of people like to have a paper book. So if you need a book, you know, I can send it to you and it's free. You know, send me an email on the link that I'll post in the description at, you know, milkywaysoultribe@gmail.com. So,
Awesome.
and then I'll send you that. I sent out so many already. So that's a good thing. But yeah, everything is just like interlocked. It's just amazing how everybody's synced up. And I am synced up, but I like to be prepared. I read ahead in the book. I take notes. I usually come, but not today. I've been, you know, sleeping in my truck.
Busy. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
very, very busy. Robert's in the middle of moving, so that is a process.
Oh, Robert's moving too. Where are you moving to, Robert?
I'm just moving out. I'm getting rid of the house in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So packing up stuff and then you know I got a place. I live in North Dakota. So
okay.
You know, I'm just getting rid of the place in Wisconsin and finally saying I can't keep driving back and forth, you know, to come out here, and it's just too much. So
that's a bit of a haul, isn't it? Like how far are you?
15 hours. 15-hour drive.
15 hours, exactly. I was thinking like I'm almost as close to North Dakota as you are in Wisconsin from where I am right now. So yeah.
There you
sure.
Go. There you go. So
yeah.
It's a long drive.
Around. So, but yeah, all good. So should we read a page or two out of the book? Now Trina's got a thing. I'm going to read first, and then Trina's going to read. Ken, if you, we'll read a little bit, and we're going to stop. And if you want to comment, you just buzz right on in, okay?
Yeah, it sounds good.
I think we should talk about after what we read. I think we should talk about it a little bit and get some info from chat too.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna try this. Wait a minute. Oh, how do I gotta go back to the screen share thing. You guys talk for a minute. Oh, here we go. How did I do this the last time?
Yeah. It's Robert's learning how to drive the bus, y'all, but he's doing a good job.
I definitely give you kudos, Robert, for sure. I'm not 100% technologically savvy all the time, so.
Me neither. It's tough. It's a tough gig. It's a definite tough gig. So anything else been going on with you, Kent? Anything exciting?
I mean, I've really been in the focus of this move. I've had to clear up a lot of stuff. I would say that the most exciting things in my life are this real deep realization of really flowing back into nature. And I'm gonna not like I don't just start things and like stick, necessarily stick with one thing, but I'd like to really kind of get in tune with the sun and with the trees, maybe a little bit more fire pits of the old days. I heard this thing about fire gazing, and really, I just think that everything is preparing ourselves at this moment to be at higher frequency levels, at more natural states, and I just feel within my inner being with doing that, a lot of our more natural abilities flow easier. So I don't like to just pigeonhole myself and say, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And that's going to create this. I never really know what's really going to spark another huge inner awakening within myself. But I do feel very, very much that that a real move to nature is going to be a big part of that right now. So I'm kind of doing that. Once I get out onto this island, I feel like I'm going to have some serious, deeper understandings of some things. I don't just feel it; I know it. I'm actually being pushed to that a little bit right now. So, and I kind of know what they are because they've been already starting to come through. But I think I'm just gonna wait. Maybe we can do a show again next week because I'm actually gonna put some things down that's a little bit more formed so that it's a little bit easier to explain. But no, I've had a lot of deep understanding starting to come back to me about the past in this world, and also the understanding of the, you know, the higher realms that we come from, the unseen realms. And yeah, I actually have been on a really internal understanding journey, but it's a little bit hard to put into words right now, so I wouldn't do it much justice right at this moment.
I totally get that. Sometimes it takes a while to find the words for what you see and know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get that. It's like, man, how do you put this into words? I'm trying to do that right now. I'm getting a lot of information from the Pleiadians and
Yeah.
the Andromeda and the Seven Sisters energy, and so much information with the Seven Sisters and the Pleiades. Man, this is our chakra system. I think this is man, there's a powerful connection point to our human avatars from the atmosphere, which they would call, you know, the heavens. The Bible, anything in the
Yeah.
heaven is above. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where we get our chakra system, is from the Pleiades. And I'm getting a lot of information and it's all tying in beautifully, but I still can't put it all into any kind of English that would make a lot of sense. So I'm just working on it, but it's like,
funny.
okay.
Yeah. When you say that, I totally relate to that right now because I can
Yeah.
see an understanding within me, and I don't usually get into the technical sides of things so much, but I'm kind of being pushed to it right now. So yeah, it's not
Right.
a normal spot for me to like speak of, but yeah, I'm definitely a real, you know, understanding of how the falls work and how the stargates work, and you know, moving through them, and how it's not as much a place as it's having your body or your, it's a readiness for each one so that you're matching frequency with it. There's all kinds of different multi levels to different universes around us all of the time. And here, just a little cool little funny example is, even within this one, even within the material, to understand just how much is unseen here is like almost you can't even put it into comprehension. Like if you could see the wind or the air around you, even in this within this realm that we're in right now, it would freak you out. You would feel almost suffocated from it. So certain aspects of you know, sight and senses are also somewhat not there, just so that you can um, mobilize, move, and understand within one layer or one section of it. You know, if you saw absolutely everything around you right at this moment in time, you'd actually you'd have trouble.
Your brain would explode. It'd go,
Yeah, you'd have super trouble navigating it all. It would just be like a big miss. It would almost be like just the buzzing frequency noise, you know, and that's it. Yeah, so everything has to come down in levels of frequency for you to understand each one. And you know, with this, I have such a great peace within me lately of the fact that my journey will always be just fine in understanding. And it's like things happen within certain time frames and everything like that. So yeah, I just have no fear of I have no fear of leaving this realm, but I'm also going to now move to a different place in this realm where I do the things that I want to do, with nature, with frequency, with this that I've kind of been pushing off. And maybe even Brian's passing on to the next has kind of sparked a few things within me too, where I'm like, okay, there's some greater things I need to focus upon here. And it's not about getting rich, and it's not about it's really not about the material realm. But you know what, if there's something that even sparks you within the material realm, you can enjoy that too. Like,
You know what I think? I think you're going for the real treasure, Kent. And I think that when you start to get fully immersed in this energy of your island that you're so drawn to, I think maybe it's part of an ancient past, and it's part of how you're going to reconnect to the DNA strands that are lying dormant that we're supposed to be activating. And I think you're going to do that through your connection through nature. And it's like nature is the divine feminine, the subconscious part. It's the feminine, the mother nature part. And it's like this is the part of us that's been hidden from us, because we have our 7 chakra system, which is connected to not only the planets, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Uranus, all the 7 planetary bodies in our system. They're also connected to the Pleiades and the 7 sisters of the Pleiades. So there's your masculine and your feminine connections. We know we're getting our information from remote locations. I think we're getting ready to come online with the other 5 energy centers that have been dormant within us, that are connected to the divine feminine, that are unseen. And it's a 5. It would be adding 5 to the 7, which is the 12 base system. I've always seen it as a 12. And
a 12, that's right.
The original DNA codes, and I think it has to be done through the connection to nature and to unity consciousness, to your telepathic abilities, the unity stuff. So I think you're going for the treasure, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. You just said, when you were just speaking there, Trina, I had so many energy vibrations shooting through up my body and through my body and my shoulders and my neck.
Yay!
That's what we were talking about before you got on, Kent. We were talking about how some people are just full of energy, they're getting enlightened, and other people are just going down the slide the total opposite way.
Well, there's certain, you're right. When you look around right now, the unawareness of the majority of population in this particular plane right now is definitely quite obvious, but there is a beautiful lining in it that I have taken notice of lately. I've kind of been guided to a few different people, and I do see a lot of people speaking at higher levels of understanding than I've ever heard these certain different people speak of before. So there is sometimes a stimulation.
But that's exactly, I don't mean to interrupt you, but that's exactly it. Some people are getting stimulated going up, and other people are getting stimulated going down. I mean, they're but you can see it with the world around us. Some people they have no idea what they're talking about, and other people are like yourself. You're saying, "Oh, I'm getting all this energy. I'm getting enlightened. I'm getting better." And Trina's saying the same thing. I'm saying I got full of energy. I got more energy and more time. My brain's going better. I feel better. I feel connected to everything. And then there's other people that just want to lay down and say this world is miserable and I don't want to do anything. I'm done.
And see, that's the perfect reality check of, are you living in love or are you living in fear?
Yeah.
Are you living in the matrix or are you living in the imagination matrix, which is way more fun?
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Well, you
exactly.
know, and Robert and Trina, they canceled karaoke indefinitely on me now, so I have no choice other than to go on a full mission of enlightenment now.
There you
Hey,
go.
See?
no. We still gotta do the karaoke, Kent. I want karaoke. I'm
Hey,
not giving up on the karaoke dream.
that's right. Hey, you know,
Yeah,
that's a heck of-
I'm 100% game. If we do the
Right on.
karaoke night, I'm gonna do some JJ Gray. That's what I'll do.
Awesome. Well, regardless, I just think sometime you just gotta crank up the tunes and sing us a song, even if we can't work out the karaoke. You can be our
Absolutely.
karaoke.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was just kind of making fun of it too.
I would
It's all
love it.
fun.
No, I was like, no, I want karaoke, and I
I
still want to go dig for crystals with my soul tribe.
I
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be
actually
fun.
there is a cool vibe. An old friend of mine contacted me, and he's an excellent guitar player, and he wants to put together some acoustic songs and have me kind of sing, and he'll back up sing and play guitar. So,
Right
and
on.
he's an excellent musician. Like he's played all over the world. So I mean, all of a sudden this kind of popped on me here recently. So he lives out here too. So I'm probably gonna do that and make a little bit of music and stuff too. That seems like a more fun thing to do in this realm. There is a lot of beautiful things that everyone can do within this within this realm, you know, and yeah, I think it's just important to focus on the things that truly are creative and beautiful, as opposed to just the repetitive service to self and service to government and corporations and others. Like, you know, how about just the stuff that, you know, awakens your spirit, awakens your soul, and you know, that's where we need to challenge ourselves. It's not in getting you know, it's not kind of getting better within this matrix system, it's getting better within our own personal system. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
too, singing together and like dancing together, just being in the at the same time listening to the same music as a community. That's powerful. That's like why people go to church and they sing together. It's a powerful thing.
See, and
It
then
is.
but that's the thing is these powers that be have cut that out and separated us, and now people aren't doing that, and we need to connect with others and do that in different ways and create a new reality using the matrix, whatever we have to do, so that we can go back to singing together and in whatever form it is.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Slightly Slanted Sleuth just said 2 lightning strike hit his trees in his backyard, like right now while we're
Holy
live streaming.
cow.
Really?
Wow.
That's right. Did I understand that correctly? Holy
I
cow.
guess now that's a sign.
No,
Yeah.
right? I was like, really?
Holy cow.
Lightning just
Yeah.
struck at Sleuth's house? I'm like, wow.
You know, I can't see live chat, so if Steve's there, but
Yeah.
I did pop in and listen to the afterwards to Robert and Steve the other day, and you
Uh-huh.
know, I gotta send a shout out to Steve. I'll tell you, man, like he was so bang on with so much stuff he was talking about.
Yeah.
And then my phone died on me, so I only made it through about maybe the first 40 minutes. But
It was
you know,
awesome.
it
Yeah.
was really, really good show. I don't know if anyone missed that one the other day. You should tune in, and I'll tell you, you know, like there's always growth in all of us out there. And I was just like, holy crap, man. Like, you know, I sometimes have periods of growth, and then I also have periods of stupidity. But you know, like
We all do.
it's
Well,
but
well,
boy, it was a really, really good podcast the other day, and a lot of really great wisdom from Robert and Steve the other day. So shout out
oh,
to you guys for that.
I
Yeah.
learned
I
a
thought so.
lot. He is so full of information, and
Yeah.
I didn't even know what I should be asked. Otherwise I would have been writing down questions ahead of time because I had no idea how much he knew. And there's some things now he's a nice guy and we got along really good. And there's some things we agree on and some things we don't, but that's how we all learn.
Absolutely.
If you don't accept what they got to say, and how are you going to make a rebuttal if you just shake your head and say, yeah, that sounds good. So
Oh
now the next
yeah,
time I am going to have a slug of questions. That poor guy isn't going to know what to do. I'm going to have so many questions, and then we're going to see what challenge I give him. He's probably in the chat room going, bring it on.
Oh, I'm sure that Steve would definitely welcome that for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, and he can hang.
Yeah. So should we read at least a page out of the book since
Okay.
we've had it up there. I'm going to read this a little bit. Now I'm going to read as fast as I can. Kent, you listen along, and if I get down at least we can get to page 6 if nothing else.
Yes,
No
okay.
Slightly slanted stone. Yes.
I am going to start a paragraph ahead of where I thought I was because otherwise that won't make any sense, Trina. Okay. We're going to start with one final piece of evidence in favor of the holographic model is the paranormal itself. This is no small point, for in the last several decades, a remarkable body of evidence has accrued suggesting that our current understanding of reality, the solid and confronting sticks and stones pictures of the world we all learned about in high school science class is wrong, because these findings cannot be explained by any of our standard scientific models. Science has in the main ignored them. However, the volume of evidence has reached the point where this is no longer a tenable situation. To give just the one example, in 1987, psychiatrist Robert G. John had clinical psychologist Brenda J. Doon, both of Princeton University, announced that after a decade of rigorous explanation by their Princeton Engineering Anomalies Research Laboratory, that's a mouthful, they had accumulated unequivocal evidence that the mind can physically interact with physical reality. More specifically, John and Doon found that through mental concentration alone, human beings are able to affect the way the earth, there are certain kinds of machines operate. This is an astounding finding, and one that cannot be accounted for in terms of our standard picture of reality. It can be explained by the holographic view, however, controversially, because paranormal events cannot be accounted for by our current scientific understandings. They cry out for a new view of looking at the universe, a new scientific paradigm, in addition to showing how the holographic model can account for the paranormal. The book will also examine how mounting evidence in favor of the paranormal in turn can actually seem to necessitate the existence of such a model. The fact that the paranormal can be explained by our current scientific worldview is only one of the reasons it remains controversial. Another is the psychic functioning is often very difficult to pin down in the lab, and this has caused many scientists to conclude it therefore does not exist. The apparent elusiveness will also be discussed in this book. As an even more important reason is the contrary to what many of us have come to believe. Science is not a prejudge free. I first learned this a number of years ago when I asked a well-known physicist, is it a physicist? Yeah, that what he thought about a particular parapsychological experiment. This physicist, who had a reputation for being skeptical of the paranormal, looked at me with great authority and said results revealed no evidence of any physical or psyche functioning whatsoever. I had not yet seen the results, but because I respected the physicist's intelligence, reputation, I accepted his judgment without question. Later, when I examined the results for myself, I was stunned to discover the experiment had produced very striking evidence of physical or psychic ability. Realized that then that Even well-known scientists can possess bias and blind spots. You know, well, isn't that how they get that the quantum computer to work? They separate it from human minds by a vacuum tube and a lot of cold air.
Yeah, they put the particles through a double slit experiment, and the experiment changes as soon as somebody observes it. So
Yeah.
they're witnessing that the particles that create matter only snap into a position out of a wave and back into a particle through observation.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
So somebody who was reading this book or wrote this book, or I mean, you know, did these studies, they actually figured this out, wrote something different, and that's how we ended up with the quantum
Okay, I
computer,
just
because
saw a
nobody would have.
question
Yeah.
from
Okay.
Milky's mom,
Yes.
Brenda. Brian had pine cones everywhere. The pine cones represent the pineal gland, and that's how you awaken. And that is how you can enter the throne of God, basically, and have inner vision. So that's why Brian would meditate. He was activating the pine cone within his brain. So I just
Oh.
wanted to let Brenda know that Milky's mom, she had a question about the pine cone and Brian. And I'm like, I know the answer to that.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Hey, Trina,
I'm
you wanna continue on the next
Sure.
bit? My tongue is twisted. I gotta
No problem.
I just
Okay.
absolute shout out to Milky's mom who's in here. I mean, you know, just Brian was blessed to have you as a mom, and you were blessed to have him as a son. I mean, you know, in my time of knowing Brian, I actually became like very, very, very good, close, you know, great friends, and just an absolute wonderful being. And you know, there's something, and I know it's still probably fresh, and it's very hard on everyone, but you know, if I've ever met somebody that was just ready to fly into spiritual and journeys and missions, it certainly was Brian. So you know, I just total love out to Brian's mom, and
She said,
you know, I'm glad
Kent,
you're
I
here.
love you. She said, love
Oh,
you,
thank you.
Kent, with a little heart emoji.
Awesome.
We love you, Brenda. Milky's mom. We love you so much.
Yes, we do. Thank you for all you know, she's a wonderful person, and I have never met her, but I hope to someday we'll all get to meet, and you know,
Yeah.
somehow, some way, because she Brian spoke very highly of her, and you know what I mean.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, greater love. Oh, yeah. Brian had it bad. He loved his mama. Something fierce.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. So we will continue with this just a little bit, and then Ken, dinner seat anytime you want, or Robert, if you guys have anything you want to throw in on the content. So it says, unfortunately, this is a situation that occurs often in the investigation of the paranormal. In recent article in American Yale psychiatrist, no, psychologist Urban I. Child examined how a well-known series of ESP dream experiments conducted at the Malamode Medical Center in Brooklyn, New York, had been treated by the scientific establishment. Despite the dramatic evidence supportive of ESP uncovered by the experimenters, Child found their work had been almost completely ignored by the scientific community. Even more distressing, in a handful of scientific publications that had bothered to comment on the experiments found the research had been severely distorted. Its important its importance was completely obscured. How?
I got a comment on that.
Yeah.
Now, don't you know? I mean, I'm a conspiracy scientist, and by all of that, I beg to differ, because
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking, you know, they do this research. They spend millions of dollars on it most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have them put out something totally different, you know, than what they actually researched, like, oh yeah, well, we didn't find anything. You know
Right.
that somebody's getting that information. And like that's how they did the quantum computer. We just discussed that because somebody did the research and realized that what these guys talked about, they put that to use. So it wasn't ignored. It was just ignored by the scientists who wrote the article of what they found, and they skipped over all that and took the good information and gave it to sources unknown who said, hey, this is really something we can use. Now, does that make any sense? Or am I
Oh,
just
Yeah.
stepping off the
absolutely.
top of the...
All of this research went straight into basically, you know, top secret stuff
Yeah,
because it was
Absolutely.
so powerful. I mean, I think remote viewing probably was the first form of espionage and secret spying that was like completely radically off the chart. I think it came through these experiments, in all actuality.
yeah, absolutely. I you know, but I just wanted to point that out after you read that. It's like it just hit me. It's like, really, you don't get that kind of funding to do all that studying and then write a crap article about it and say, well, we didn't find anything. Sorry, we researched it, spent millions of dollars, and we found out that, yeah, they got nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
And then it says,
exactly.
it says, how is this possible? One reason is the science is not always as objective as they would like them to be. We view scientists with a bit of awe, and when they will tell us something that we are convinced it must be true, we forget that they are only human and they are subject to the same religious, philosophical, and cultural prejudices that the rest of us are. This is unfortunate, for as this book will show, there is a great deal of evidence that the universe encompasses considerably more than our current worldview allows. But
Yeah.
why is science so resistant to the paranormal in particular? This is a more difficult question. In commenting on the resistance of the experienced to his own unorthodox view of health, Yale surgeon Siegel, author of the best-selling book Love, Medicine, and Miracles, asserts that it's because people are addicted to their beliefs. Siegel says this is why when you try to change somebody's belief, they act like an addict. There seems to be a good deal of truth to Siegel's observation, which perhaps is why many of civilization's greatest insights and advances have first been greeted with such passionate denial. We are addicted to our beliefs,
Hmm.
and we do act like addicts when somebody tries to wrest from us the powerful opium of our dogma. And since Western science has devoted several centuries to not believing in the paranormal, it is not going to surrender its addiction easily.
That's an interesting point there.
Isn't that profound? I was just like,
Well,
man, there is a deep bomb of truth right there. That is 90% of why we're stuck is because we're stuck in our programs.
stuck in the programs, and also this is why all studies need to be filtered through major universities and organizations that are reputable in giving us the truth, because they're not reputable at all. First and foremost, to not bring the paranormal, or to not bring the greater universe, or to not bring consciousness, or to not bring any factors of the real truth of source existence, well, they're all flawed. I mean, science is a good word in saying that, okay, if you are open to truly learning science, then you are performing science. The problem with science, within this realm is science is manipulated and controlled as politics.
Yeah.
Everything that goes under these major headings of importance is so infiltrated and controlled. And these are the problems that we have. This is why we as individual spirits must remember within ourselves truths, because if we didn't, we would just be like, the system itself is broken. It's yeah, so it's why it's funny, exactly that comment is exactly why we're here all together tonight, because
so it's like, man, that's such a big truth bomb they just dropped. It was like, boom. It's like, you're all stuck because of what you believe. Yeah. And what you believe is because of what you've been programmed to believe. And, you know, dogma, indoctrination, education, the news, the foods, all of it. We've been taught, it was funny. I was listening on the radio on the way to work this morning, and they had a questionnaire going on the radio about when you were a little kid, what defined in your mind if somebody was wealthy versus poor? What was the defining mechanism that said, oh, that person's rich because they have XYZ?
Yeah.
Very interesting to see that we were being programmed way back then, again, to see that wealth was about what kind of house you have, what kind of car you drive, what kind of phone you have. That was what these kids were saying was a reflection of wealth, was all of this materialistic stuff. And it's like, that is the trap, and that's the trap. All of us have been fed. All of us were fed that program. All of us. And it's like I said, if you're going out into nature, you're going to your island, and you're going to reconnect with that which is truly sacred and real, and it's invisible, and you can only connect to it through your hidden 5 senses of telepathy, empathy, all of these hidden senses that are connected to the higher senses. Because I believe every one of our chakras is partially attributed to a sense. So third eye vision and crown chakra, those would be those higher senses that we have naturally within our body. But I think that they go beyond that, and I think that's through the connection of nature. And I think that activates the hand chakras, the feet chakras, and then the other solar disc ray above the head. So, and then it's connecting the solar below the feet too. So you get 5 more energy wheels of connection, which go through the spine, the serpent, and activate the information, the chemicals, the hormones, the gnosis that you get from these unseen realms of consciousness that we've been so shut off from for so long from this. It's like it's been completely squashed, the divine feminine. They got rid of that on purpose, because if you can have clairvoyance, clairaudience, start to hear and see, start to connect with your inner divinity, you get direct communication with the Christ, which is communication directly with God, and you receive direct gnosis from Creator. That is the magic of this world, and that is the one thing that they have given no information on, no education on, and we don't even know about the true, which I believe is a 12 chakra system based on the 13th solar sphere that controls it all, just like the remote control beaming down information to the TV screen.
Absolutely. You just hit it on the head there too, Trina, with the fact that the entire program, it within this right now, in the reverse, in the fall, in the upside down, is completely to take us away from all that's natural. You see, there really is nothing here in all that. Every single thing is within life. Everything is essentially living. It's a twisted version of almost when you say you reject God, you're just rejecting absolutely everything that's around and trying to replace it with what would be your
Dogma.
scientists, your governments, your schools. School teaches you nothing, as a matter of fact, that will be of much use to you in your forever spiritual journey, because you are eternal. So it was just, it's like going back to that whole thing with the knowledge of good and evil and stuff. It's almost like, maybe in some weird way, there also is many things that you gain even from completely rejecting yourself from the natural, but it's like a loop. You have to loop at some point in time back into what and who you truly are. And whatever the controllers, forces that be in here, yes, want to keep you in this end of the loop, away from that as much as they can. However, you do have a energetic cord within you right back to source. So,
Yep.
Good luck to that. I can't
It's
see,
like I'm starting to see more and more of this. It's like, remember how the everything's in circles, in loops. So it's like, okay, so it's like source, out of source, birth, all of these spheres of light,
yes,
spheres of light, and the spheres of light, they are creators. They
yes,
create. So out of the initial, like, birthing, it went through all the omniverse, and it's I can't get my head, it's too big for my brain. So like, they show me a part. Yeah.
yeah,
So
I hear you.
our part goes into like our universe. In our universe, there was like, out of that one big ball came down like 12 main ball spheres of consciousness, and they're all unique in their expression. They're like personalities, they all have attributes. So
Right.
these basically, people call them gods, because the gods
Yeah.
were birthed first, and then the angels, which are consciousness, and they do tasks. It's like creation started to build. But
Yeah.
when you realize that within the microcosm is the macrocosm. So every one of your electrons is aware of the universe. We're aware of it. And then you have to understand, if you can be aware of that part of the macro is aware of you as the fractal. So there's a oneness with an awareness there. So you are the as above, so below. Everything is about what you see. So within your own bubble of reality, it's God. It's God expressing in a separateness, and it can only
Yeah.
experience through that separateness. So we've separated from the one, and become a separation so it could experience itself. It's like when I was a little girl, I asked God, I says, why would you make all this stuff when people die and stuff? I didn't understand. I thought that was really
Yeah.
stupid plan. And he laughed at me. He says, because I can't experience any of what I've created without your hands. You're my hands. I feel my creation through you. And that was
Right.
when I was a little girl. I knew I was one with God, because God was experiencing life through me. And he was experiencing it through the other person. And he was experiencing it through the bookshelf. And he was experiencing it through the trees. And it
Right.
was being experienced through the sky and the ground and the clouds and the bees and the metals and the waters. And everything was God, and God knew everything. But unless it could be a part of the water, or be a part of a human being with an awareness of
Right.
itself, that separation was what was giving it the ability to actually understand its own creation. So that just made so much sense to me when I was a little kid. I was like, that just makes so much sense.
That does
Oh.
make a lot of sense.
Yep.
We're
Yep.
God's
Yep.
hands. Like God can't come. God's here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
God is going to manifest through his children. That's
Well,
us.
Yeah.
well, that's what I've always been saying. Everybody, it's like, whatever you do, you know, people go around, do this and they do that, and it's like, God don't care, because every experience, regardless of what you're doing, is an experience. I mean,
Right.
it's part of the matrix. You know what I mean? So because if everybody was exactly the same and walked in lockstep and did the same, how boring would that be? Nobody would have any other thoughts except the same as the one other guy. And so
It would lead to death, Robert. It would be
yes,
we would be
yeah,
bored so fast. We would all just literally just like not even want to exist.
well,
Literally, that's
exactly.
what
Yeah.
creation told me over and over and over again. The greatest gift you will ever receive is our diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Differences.
Yes,
The differences are the colors, the fullness of life. If we
yes,
were all the same, it would be such a bummer. And this
yeah.
is part of what the Pleiadians are communicating to me. And I've always known that this is a living library.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were
Right.
explaining to me how very many different alien races are now integrated through the different human races, because this was a wonderful way to experience creation.
Mm-hmm.
And you do it
Absolutely, absolutely.
yourself because it's all part of the same energy. Every single thing existing in this omniverse is coming from the same exact identical kind of energy, which is the energy of source, God, creation, whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is all the same, but it's living in a multitude of expressions. And that's the fullness of creation. And that diversity is the greatest gift of all of it.
Yeah.
And apparently, this is why we came to Earth. One of the reasons was to see if we could bring in different energies from different creation points and bring them all together so they could evolve further through the mingling of those energies. Because it's like
Yeah.
when water touches anything, it gets the information from that water. We're all immersed in the same water. So we're getting the information from every single person on this planet's experience is adding to your collective consciousness as a collective as well as an individual, and you're helping their experience on this planet by your frequency and your experiences and your life. All of this is what gives us this powerful, beautiful fullness of life. So it's like racism and diversity. That is such a stupid trap, and it is the opposite way of creation and how it truly works. It is beautifully diverse, and that's the greatest part of it.
Well said, Trina.
Awesome.
We're really running long tooth on time tonight, but
Okay.
it took you all night to get that out. And man, that was beautiful. That was so good said.
I love you
And
guys.
Kent, I want to thank you for coming on at, you know, kind of last minute, but we were all psychically aligned there, and it's great. It was really nice to have you on. I'm hoping to get a lot of other people on and get you on again. And Trina, thanks for, you know, thinking in my head like me.
I
It was
know,
so
right?
synchronous.
We're
Yes,
connecting, Robert. Get ready.
that's
It's
right.
like, oh boy, I'm gonna be in your head more than you might be like, Trina, get out of my head. I'm like, sorry, I don't mean to. I don't mean to. It just happens. I don't mean to.
That's all
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
All right. Well, we're
Awesome.
going to call it a night. Thank you, everybody. Be the frequency you want to receive. And we truly all love you all. Thanks a
Bosco,
lot.
baby.